The ultimate fishing experience is brought to you by Lund Boats. This week on The Ultimate Fishing Experience, we're following in the footsteps of Lewis and Clark in search of Missouri River blue cats. Nestled on the banks of these muddy waters lies the historic river town of Hermann, Missouri, named after a dramatic warrior who defeated the Romans in a fierce battle over 2,000 years ago. Today, it's battling big blue cats that brings Rippin Lips cat gear owner John Jamison and tournament partner Mark Thompson to the stretch of the mighty Mo, where they'll be plying tactics virtually unheard of in the catfishing world, namely power fishing. They don't wait for the cats to come to them, they actively search them out, placing their baits right in their faces and triggering the active biters.
I got a fish, good fish. Now that's a Missouri River blue cat.
So it's time to break out the sour bait, drop in those river sinkers, and go with the flow. We'll be herding cats, Missouri style.
Hi, I'm John Jamison, owner of Rippin Lips Catfish Company. We got a bunch of different catfish products on the market. I'm here in Hermann, Missouri. We're gonna go out today and fish the Missouri River for some big blue cat. My tournament partner, Mark Thompson, and I, we was here a week ago. Fished a catfish tournament. We finished first. Fish have been biting very well. We're gonna go out today and see if they're still on. You ready to go hit the water, Mark?
I'm ready, let's go.
Okay. We're here in the middle of April. Water temperature on the Missouri River is in the mid-50s, maybe 57 degrees. These big blues are relating to current scenes and stuff on the river. We've been really fortunate this year. The river level is down. A lot of times in the spring this time of year we can get high water levels that makes the fishing very difficult. But this year, with it being down, low water conditions, we've caught a lot of fish. These fish are very active, and hopefully they're on today, and we'll have a good day today. Oh boy, Mark, look at this weather. The river's just perfect. Sun's coming up. Conditions are great. Going to be a terrific day to get out here on the water. We're going to do what we done last weekend. We're going to do a little controlled drift, walk some bait down the river. It's a great technique to learn, something that you can pass on to people and catch a lot of big fish this way. Let's go put this boat in, Mark, catch some fish. We're mid to late April. Water temperature again in the mid to upper 50s. And these blues are really kind of in a transition period. We're coming out of the late winter stages and into spring patterns. And on the spring pattern, they're going to move out more on the current seams and get right in more of the direct current on these big rivers like the Missouri or Mississippi or any big river, Ohio River. And that's what we're trying to do here today, is put this bait right down that current seam, right to that fish. So he thinks it's just a dead piece of bait drifting down the river to him, very natural, and catch a lot of fish this way.
We fish for all three catfish species. And one thing that's a misconception is that all catfish like cover or snags, trees, rock piles. We find that these blues tend to be more of an open water fish. They're more of a fish of ledges and drop-offs than they are of the heavy cover and snag.
Some of the locations that we really key in on this time of year is deep water, outside bends. We're on an outside bend that's got about 25 to 30 feet of water on it. We're simply letting this boat drift back and we're walking this bait right down, right beside the ledge. These blues are laying next to that ledge. They come in and pick it up. One of our other key spots this time of year, we fish trail dikes or L dikes, and right off the tip of every trail dike or L dike, if you will, is a current seam. And these big fish will relate to that current seam, lay right on it. So we position this boat, drift right down that current seam. That's where we stick our big fish and all kinds of eating size fish too. Everybody can catch them.
Closed captioning brought to you by Mercury Marine, #1 on the water.
That's the one thing about this kind of fishing is we're covering a lot of ground. We're going to the fish, not waiting for him to come to us.
Yeah, this isn't typical catfishing where guys go out and anchor and we're sitting in one spot a long time. We're actively moving and trying to find that active feeding fish. We've done this all over the United States. It works well. Another fish at the base of that ledge. I mean, right at the base of the ledge.
Fish on.
Right where he's supposed to be. We're free. Boat's out of gear, floating back toward the fish. Good job, Mark.
That fish hammered it. There's probably another fish close.
It's a big
That
fish,
fish
though.
pulled that, took it really fast and hard. I don't know that the fish is really heavy, but he's definitely very aggressive. It's definitely a nice fish. Thing about it, sometimes it's really hard to tell the size of these fish. You can tell if they've got a fair amount of weight, but sometimes they'll fool you. Especially once we take that trolling motor out of gear,
We take the pressure off.
we take the pressure off, so we're not putting a lot of pressure on these fish. We're gonna get right over the fish, and then we're just gonna fight the fish up instead of trying to pull the fish against heavy current. And we will catch a lot of fish that we normally might get off of a hook. I am at 10 feet.
Okay.
We are getting close here. Swivel.
Good job.
It's a nice fish. He's not a monster by any means, but we do take a few of these fish to eat. We do release all of our big fish, of course, but this is a perfect eating size. I think we'll take this one home for the table.
Absolutely. I love fishing out of this Lund Pro guide. It's a 2010 Pro guide. It's such a versatile boat. We're able to jump up here and use the trolling motor, slow us down on these big drifts. And then later on in the day when we get into swifter current and hotter current, we can jump on the big motor, the Verado back there. It's got an RPM limiter on it. I can slow that motor down. So we can go from the trolling motor back to the big motor. Such a wide open design, no windshield in the way. Love fishing it on windy days. If you got a boat, if you got a big windshield, catches a lot of wind. High-sided boats catch a lot of wind and want to blow you around. This is a low profile boat, but it'll take big water. Very, very fishable boat. Awesome boat. Good fish on, guys. Good fish. Really good fish. I'm gonna kick her out of gear so we can, Mark, you take control of the boat.
Yep.
We'll slide back on this fish, and we will definitely need the net on this one.
Good.
This fish really came in. I was bumping that bait down the current seam on this bend. Came in and really ate the bait really hard. And these blues, typically when you hook them like this, really feel them rolling in that line. He's really rolled in that line, fins hitting the line.
How many feet are you at, John?
78 feet. We use line counters, and which helps a lot. You know, when we're walking the bait, we know where we're at. But when we're also fighting the fish, I know right where that fish is all the time. Right now, he's 53 feet from the boat. Helps us a lot when we're drifting down on these fish to get them in the net. Getting close, Mark. He's at 22 feet.
Okay.
Really spooked him and got him excited there for a minute. Okay, he's right here. Why don't you get ready to net him, Mark? We got a hook. He's now hooked. I seen that red fin on him. He's scuffed up in the back. Okay.
Oh, nice fish,
Hey.
John. Good job.
Good job. Good job. Beautiful Missouri River blue.
Oh, he's 40.
39. He's right at 40. That is a beautiful Missouri River blue cat. Again, here in central Missouri, we caught this fish bumping down the river, walking bait with our bait walker rods. It's a very effective technique, and these big fish really love to come in and hammer it. We should catch you some more today. When we come back, we're going to go into detail on where we're finding these fish. One of the things you'll notice that we're doing here today is sliding this boat in and out with relationship to the bank. These blues like to relate right at the bottom of a ledge. Our bottom of this ledge is about 21 feet. When I go in, we'll be as shallow as 5 or 6 feet, but I keep sliding this boat back so I can walk this bait right down this ledge and keep it in that 20 to 21 foot zone. You know, Mark, this current's pretty swift. Let's switch to the big motor. If you want to go ahead and fire it up, hold me for a minute. What's so nice about this Pro guide, we're able to switch from one technique to another technique very easily. We get in this heavier current, jump on the big motor, and immediately take over. Okay. Let me just slide right past you here. It's that simple. I love fishing with this Verado. I can control my speed right here on the handle. Everything I need is right in touch. Forward, reverse, neutral. Can turn it with just 1 or 2 fingers. It's all power steering. I can idle this motor down right here on the side of it as an RPM limiter. I can speed it up or slow it down, dictating what the current's going to do. If I need a little bit more throttle, easy to do. Super quiet, perfect boat, perfect outboard for what we're doing here on the Missouri River. One of the other attributes to this boat is with the command center right here beside me. I can watch my boat speed, my electronics at all time. Setting in one location, I can absolutely control the whole boat, see everything that's going on with the electronics right here. Perfect setup.
What we have here, this is the basic bait walking or bumping rig that we use in here today. We have a snap here tied to our 80-pound braid, connected to a 3-way swivel. We have about a 6-inch dropper here for our lead weight that snaps on. That is about 30-pound monofilament. And the actual dropper here with the hook has a chain swivel in it and a 7/0 circle hook. And that is made up, the line is actually 60-pound fluorocarbon. We're using a couple of different kinds of bait here today. I've been using more fresh cut bait. This is skipjack. Any kind of fresh cut bait will work. John's been using some carp that we've aged in a refrigerator for a little while, so it puts off a little bit more smell. Today it doesn't seem to matter. They're eating both baits about the same. You can make this just as simple as you want to. You take these little chunks here and just keep putting them on until the hook is full. We like to keep the hook full and put plenty of scent out there, just like that.
This is the bait my partner Mark was talking about. This is soured carp. All this is carp that we catch, fillet the side off, put it in a bucket, put it in a refrigerator, let it sour. And over time you get a soured bait. Difference between a soured bait and a rotten bait really truly is rotten. It wants to fall apart. The soured bait is still tough, puts off a lot of scent. These big cats really love it.
Now the reason we like to use the braid is once the fish picks the bait up, the braid has no stretch, and with the braided line and a circle hook, once they start to pull that, you can just reel down on them and they'll just hook themselves.
We're out of gear and the boat's floating, taking the pressure off the fish.
Not a big fish, I'm gonna say 4 or 5 pounds probably. Came in and ate it good though.
Sure did, ate it
Kept
really
a hold
well.
of it and ended up just loading the pole up. "124 feet, you got plenty of time.
Okay.
I'm just gonna be easy here and just ease him towards the boat. At 20 feet.
I'm right here, buddy.
Yep.
Nice little blow.
Great. Just gonna turn this one loose, John.
Good job.
Let's go get another one.
Will do. The Missouri River here is running about 3 to 3.5 miles an hour all the time. What I try to do is slow the boat down, control the boat speed, and keep it about 0.8 to 1.0 miles an hour. I can do this by utilizing my Hummingbird, and I can tell how fast I'm going all the time. Down below, next to the bottom, due to friction, it's running a lot slower. That's part of the reason the fish are laying down there, and they can lay behind you know, rocks or a little log and lay there and wait for their next meal to drift past them. And that's what we're trying to imitate. But keep in mind that the current next to the bottom is a little bit slower than it is on the top. And once I get the boat under control and slowed down to the proper speed, again, around 1 mile an hour to 0.8 mile an hour, it's simply just walking the bait. It's a technique staying in control of your bait all the time and bumping this bait down the river, keeping it on the bottom. When you utilize it right, we can get 200, 300, 400 feet from the boat. We've caught fish as far as 600, 700 feet from the boat doing this technique. Highly effective, and you can catch a lot of fish this way. Whoop, I'm hung up. A lot of snags in the Missouri River, and we're fishing 80-pound braid. Very hard to break sometimes, but one of the techniques that we've learned is if you take your reel and you wrap it 2 or 3 times, and then just solid pressure back, that will break it. We keep our rigs pre-tied in a small tackle bag, and it's as simple as popping one out, clipping another one on. This is called a Mayhem snap. Snap it on, we're good to go. I've been fishing rivers since I was just a young man. I was fortunate enough, my mom and dad, we fished and hunted my whole life. You know, every weekend when I was a kid, and I'm talking from 4 or 5 years old and on, people can go out and do it. Anybody can do it. It's a terrific family sport, and I'm just very glad to say that my mom and dad's got me into fishing at an early age.
Oh, that's fish.
Yeah, I got a fish. Good fish. I gotta take this out of gear.
Yep, I'm reeling in.
And all kinds of stuff. There, I think I just got him clear. Mark, you take the boat, get us off that bank. Here.
I'm gonna turn it out here, John.
Okay.
Sorry, I put a little pressure on you, but I wanted to get it turned. Kick this boat
Yeah, you just get the nose of the boat out, away from the bank. We got him under control now. As soon as you can, get the net. We're 18 feet out.
I'm still reeling in here.
Okay, take your time. I'm gonna just keep him right here by the boat. Take it easy, not a lot of pressure on him. We do have leader. Nice little Missouri River blue cat. Actually hooked right in the corner of the mouth, right where he should be. I'm just gonna lift him right in the side of the boat. Look at this awesome Missouri River blue. They're so great to catch out here. We're covering a lot of water, walking this bait, and you can catch a ton of fish this way on this river. By walking bait, it really increases your chance to come across more active fish. We catch a lot more fish than we do when we're anchoring, simply because we're covering more water. It's really kind of the power fishing, if you will, of the catfishing world. We did stick a 40 today. We're really happy with that. We caught a few other fish, hooked another big fish that came off. We was here a week ago. We stuck 2 fish around the 50-pound mark, caught several other fish in the 30 and the 20-pound range, but that's kind of fishing. Sometimes they bite better than they do other times. Just overall, we couldn't ask for better river conditions than what we had for this time of year. Contrary to what the cameraman thinks, this is soured bait. It is not rotten. He thinks it's rotten. It is soured bait. Big difference.
Mexican food's not gonna cut it tonight. I've got to have some seafood.
Thanks for joining us. If you'd like more information, check out lundboats.com or these other online outlets.